Let's bring him up. We got Casey Royer on the line from D.I. and the Adolescents. Casey, thanks for joining us, man.
Dude, I just took a big snap of Wacky Tobacco right when you were playing that song. Oh my God, how crazy is that? How apropos of that to be, how coincidental.
Where are you calling from?
I'm down here in Newport Beach, California, just sitting around in the mecca of the sober population and overcharging everyone for everything. But
Nice.
It's pretty fun down here. It's nice. It's I grew up here, third generation, kind of out, SoCal guy, and I'm kind of used to it, and it's really nice down here, And
I must thank our mutual friend, Rick Agnew, who's a good friend of mine and a great friend of yours. He said, hey, Casey would probably do it, and I got a hold of you, and you were cool enough to come on the show, man.
Dude, thanks for having me, because you know what? The consciousness of our scene is just it's so cool, just to get some acknowledgement, some love. Now that the internet is just like helping everybody out that was, from the 80s, and Rick's a great friend. We have the Adolescents going, which is kind of like flag is the black flag, the Adolescents. So we got some sort of a controversy going. But I got the band together just for me and Rick to play and have fun, because Rick wrote most of the songs, for D.I. He wrote a bunch for D.I. And me and Rick were in Social Distortion back when I made it up, and Mike was in there. So I said, Rick, let's just jam the Blue record, because you wrote all those songs. And I got background vocals, and my mechanics are kind of unique on drums. Are hard to simulate, so I've heard. So when me and Rick started playing together again with and we're in the Adolescents for June, it just blew up. So now the Adolescents are just charging and still playing gigs. We're doing a Northern Cal. I think we might even get up toward Oregon, even with the Exploited. D.I. and the Exploited are playing. I think it's in August or September.
Wow.
Yeah, September. So my life is good, man. How's the radio station up there? You guys having a good time?
We're having a great time. We actually play lots of music that you are on quite often. We've been doing the show for about 18 years, and we're like into, all rock and roll, but we really like the old punk rock stuff,
Dude, that is so cool. I was kind of, when I was in high school and, we got Social Distortion together, I was kind of like, focusing on TV, radio, broadcasting, and production. That's what I went to college for after we got out of high school. So my friend said, Casey, don't be a drummer. Be a singer, because your voice, you've got the voice thing. So I said, we had no expectations of any kind of grandeur or success whatsoever. But
yeah.
I said, sure, I'll just sing. And then I broke up that team, and I went with D.I. And it's ever since the movie Suburban.
Now you're cutting out a little bit. I'm not sure if you're moving around, but you're cutting out just a little bit.
Right. How about now?
That sounds good, Casey. Thanks.
You know who I saw yesterday? Skinner from the movie Suburbia, Tim O'Brien at the market.
Did you really?
I just couldn't believe it. Things are just so strange. It's pretty great.
Yeah, if you're listening, Suburbia was a really, if you're listening to this show and you know who Casey is, you're familiar with the movie Suburbia. And, of course, you'll remember that the soundtrack was awesome.
Yep, that was a good one. TSOL, Vandals, and everybody was all involved. And punks into actors, other than actors into punks. And it just totally worked out. Came out really genuine and really cool, man. I mean, I still get all tripped out when, like, Sheila overdoses and everybody's all like, what? And then, it's just crazy. It's a great storyline,
It is. Hey, by the way, Sister Tracy is sitting right next to me. She's here on the interview, too, man.
Hi, Casey.
Hi, sweetie. What do you sound so cool? How tall are you? 5'6"?
I am a leggy 5'8".
No way. That's rad. Well, you sound really hot, like Hot Donna from the 70s show.
Hey, man,
but,
I have a face for radio, can I say?
That's cool. You've been doing this for 18 years. That's fabulous. I've been dipping in and out of radio and just all kinds of different parts of the media, I guess. And it's a blast, man. I'm glad you guys are having a good time at it, because it's a genuine, cool time to have just in kind of broadcasting, if you know what I mean.
So, for the folks that are listening that are familiar with the band Social Distortion, Casey was part of like the early incarnation. Were you actually a part of the original Social Distortion then?
Yeah, well, I made the whole band up because Mike was in 8th grade and I was in high school, and we were just practicing in my bedroom at my parents' house, drum set, and Mike playing guitar and learning how to play guitar. This was like 76.
Wow.
75. I know it's gnarly. And then, so I made up, Mike couldn't play. So we're all like, we had a distortion pedal. So that's where the distortion part came in. And then I was taking a sociology class in high school, which the definition is the interaction of culture. And punk rock was a big interaction of culture. So I just wrote down Social Distortion on my peachy folder for high school and just all of a sudden called it Social Distortion. And then it just was history from then. We got a bass player, Mark Garrett, joined the team. And then, then it just evolved, in different directions for quite a while.
At what point did you bail out?
Well, there was one time when I kicked Mike out of Social Distortion, and I was singing for Social Distortion. Rick Agnew playing drums, Frank Agnew playing guitar, Tim Mag from D.I. and the Cramps playing second guitar, and Mark Garrett, the lost, forgotten first bass player of SD. Because Mike kind of like tried to bury before '79 when I made up SD 2 years before, and he just kind of shunned everything, but he got kind of called on it because of his Facebook and all that stuff, and everybody saw pictures of us in 77, 76.
Yeah.
So they're all, what's going on? So Mike finally gave me credit for making up the band and everything. And he went sober and kind of wanted to erase the whole first Social Distortion that we had, and then just started again. But then he had to backpedal and just go, okay, well, busted. Casey made up the band. So that's all good. I love Mike. He's a good guy. Still playing, still doing his deal. And, the Kids of the Black Hole, it's a song which we play with the Adolescents. The Black Hole was Mike Ness's apartment.
Trippy.
When his parents were divorcing, Mike moved into my parents' house for about a year, and then Mike's parents got the divorce, and Mike moved into with his mom. Next door was the Black Hole, right next to our junior high.
Okay.
A little bit of like punk rock 101 for the cool radio listeners.
There you go.
So the Black Hole, the Adolescent song, "Kids of the Black Hole," that was Mike Ness's apartment because he was having tough times because his parents were divorcing, and they just had a tough divorce. So he just kind of moved into my bedroom for 6 months, and we wrote "Mommy's Little Monster" pretty much that record, and then I just then I kicked Mike out because he was having some trouble. We got kind of in fights and stuff. I remember giving him his first haircut. He looked like Peter Frampton. It was pretty cool. And then I went over. Then I went up to and then I went singing for SD for about 6 months. And then Tony Adolescent asked me if I wanted to play drums for the band called the Adolescents. And I'm all like, sure, why not? And then I just kind of kicked SD to the side because once again we were just making up stupid names. We weren't really business people. We were just having fun. There was we didn't think we would be where we are right now. Let me just say.
Yeah.
But so I just kicked the name Social Distortion to the side, and then I started playing with the Adolescents, and then Lisa Fancher, Frontier Records approached us at the Starwood in 1979, 1980, and said, "Do you want to be on a Frontier Records project I got going with other bands?" She released 6 records at the same time. It was the Adolescents record, Suicidal Tendencies record, Circle Jerks, TSOL, Dance With Me, and Christian Death. So all 6 of those records came out at the same time. Then all of a sudden everything popped, and we were on the news, on TV, like punks start riots. Punks are fighting the police. Punks are winning. It's just got to be kind of out of control. And then that just went for a while, and then D.I. started up. And we just, the Adolescents, kind of had some trouble with the lineup. Everybody was kind of bickering a little too much. So I started a little side project, D.I., with Christian Death and Adolescents equipment because they practiced at my house. And we wrote all these stupid songs with, I Hate Surfing in HB, Hang Kennedy Street, all these songs that eventually became D.I. songs and escalated to where I ended up.
So that must have been interesting to have Roz Williams practicing in your house. Yeah,
because it was a trip because we all, Anaheim, Fullerton area, which is right, pretty close to Newport, Huntington, about 10 minutes away. But these guys, the Christian Death dudes, they all lived up in Pomona, so that's up the freeway about 45 minutes, which is pretty far away. So my friend Steve Roberts got a place up there, his parents' place. So the Christian Death dudes were all from Pomona, where his parents just had the house, right? So they said, "Oh, we're going to practice with us." Walking all dressed up all kind of gothy, how he is, or how goth people are in general, dressed in dark, Hey, I'm dressed in dark. I'm really creepy. But he was a cool guy, really kind of meager and kind of fragile. But his drummer George Belanger and James, the bass player, were a couple of my best friends. We were funny. We were just characters. So we just I wrote all the songs for DI on the equipment there, and then it ended up just Slayer covered the songs. I'm all, what? What's happening?
Right?
Yeah, so everything is good. I've got a TV show called PNX News. It's on YouTube. It's like a Wayne's World meets like a weekend update from early Saturday Night Live kind of show, where I dress up in like a suit and tie, and we do news with ball mics, and we do throws to PNX News UK, PNX News Japan. I have friends all over there filming and stuff, and so PNX News on YouTube. Have you heard of that one?
I'm gonna check that out. PNX News, right?
Yeah, PNX News, and it's funny because all the people from my genre, we're all at the same age. Black Flag, Dickies, Exploited, Circle Church. We're all like within a year or two of each other.
Yeah,
and it's really weird because now we're in our 50s, right? And we're all like all in our 50s or 60, and it's kind of like it's weird seeing how we all progressed. I interview all these people. I interview Waddy from Exploring. I did Keith Morris's book release party. We've got 100 episodes.
Wow,
this is going to be pretty amazing. Yeah.
So did you say you're going to be opening for the Exploited in Portland?
I think we are. Yeah.
Would that be the Adolescents or DI?
I think no, it's DI. It's a DI thing.
Wow, that's so cool.
We're doing some Northern California stuff. I think we're going to be doing what's it called, the Metro Opera House in Oakland, which is a pretty nice big venue, and a few different places. I'm not really sure of the scheduling yet because that's I don't think until like early September, and the Adolescents are going on a little U.S. tour in August.
Well, if you guys keep this in mind, if you guys need a show in Southern Oregon, not Eugene or Portland, but like Southern Oregon, right when you cross the border of Northern Cali, there's a great scene, man. There's a Pirate Punk's house where they have like a lot of the old school bands will come play, and they're like just sellout shows, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. We're always up for like just doing that kind of stuff. The Adolescents we're booking ourselves, through our buddy that runs the Doll Hut, a club down here in Anaheim, and DI is booked through a company called Artists Worldwide out of Los Angeles. So if anybody's out there wants to call them, get DI involved.
Yeah, Ron Rios from Black Flag was up here playing recently up in Medford, Oregon. We had Spit Sticks from Fear was here a couple nights ago.
Nice.
We had Battalion of Saints recently. But yeah, it's people tend to skip like this part of Southern Oregon when they go up to like Eugene or Portland. They just think there's no scene here, but there's people just hungry for the old punk rock stuff here in Southern Oregon.
Yeah, it seems like that would be a good geographic location as well because you're just going north, whether it be to Seattle or wherever.
Well, for sure, and it'd be a good place to get extra cash.
And we also happen to be the grow capital of the country right here in Southern Oregon, Northern California.
That's so cool. California finally figured it out. It's just horrible. The persecution and mismanagement, of the whole scenario. It's just like horrible, for paper companies and the whole lobbying and all that. It's just so horrible. It's just like now we've finally, they're letting the hippies out of jail and everybody can go to dispensaries now.
Right. We'll get there one of these days. It's going to take a little while and, for them to figure out how to make as much money off of us as possible, and then it'll all be good.
Yeah. Well, it's weird. The way down here, the way the ruling is set up, you can have up to 6 plants in, each person.
6 plants?
Dispensaries, Yeah, 6 plants personally. And the dispensaries are being taxed 25% of their products. So, wow.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is. How it is here in Oregon, except for, I don't know if California still has the medical in place, but we also still have medical in place. So if you can also grow your own, unlike in Washington where you can't.
They recently dropped that. We're free to go, no car. It's just 21 years old.
Well, they have recreational here, but for the medical people, so you don't have to pay the high taxes if you have a medical card.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. That's kind of cool. Don't pump the gas.
We'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Now,
in fact, I heard buds are like $2 a gram in Denver now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it was so, it's been a few years since that project. They got this extra revenue to build homeless shelters, and they're all, yay.
So are you a smoker yourself?
Yeah, that's pretty much my vice. I don't do drugs or drink anything, very much.
You've already been down those roads.
I just smoke. It's more fun because I've never smoked cigarettes. I'm alcoholic, and I just like to eat food, do that, and play music and stuff. And the music and the songs are just ringing people's bells every time we play. In fact, check it out. Fletcher of Pennywise came to our show in Redondo Beach, and he looked at me and goes, "Casey, I haven't heard it sound like that in 30 years. What just happened right there?" I mean, that shook my head. So I was just all like, I know it's the Rick's tone, his guitar tone, and his strumming of that tone, and then my mechanics on the drums, and the whole thing is more Adolescents than the Adolescents right now. And it's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
The Adolescents said he said that he kicked me. No, wait. We're on, whatever, under the grapevine, rock and roll talk. Well, Tony and Steve kicked me and Rick out, and Tony's telling everybody on the scene that me and Rick quit.
Wow.
And I'm all, wow, that's not cool.
It sucks how people like to reinvent history, man.
Yeah, because I wish Tony would I don't know why Tony doesn't want to come back and do the original Adolescents again, because that would be the coolest thing that anybody could ever do right now.
What a great, you guys could go do a USA tour and clean up, man.
I know, it'd be so fun, and those songs, the way Steve was, and the way actually it all was in the beginning. None of us have really changed that much.
So, Tony just doesn't want to do it with you, the original people, huh?
I think Tony doesn't want to do it. He might have something that was, said, or I don't know, because I haven't really, really been at wit's end with anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure what the problem is.
Well,
it would be very, very fun to do, because man, it'd be like, it'd be like just a lot. It'd be like the Misfits getting back together. It's just like
totally, yeah.
And then we're playing the Blue record, so that's the album. It's just like. We start with I Hate Children and flow all the way through, to the end. And it's just like, the way they see tones are exceptional property on people's, minds. Tone, they just like kind of stimulate parts of your brain that actually can take you back to a time where you first heard that sound.
For sure.
Right? So people are coming to our shows and they're hearing the Blue record and they feel like they're 20 years old again because that's when they hear the song. And it's just like a trip, you know what I mean?
It really is, man. It's so surreal. It's so nice to have you guys around still. There's, so many rockers that are like dropping off like flies in the punk rock scene. Even though people are in their 50s and 60s, the music I'm hearing is still awfully awesome. And people seem to be, kind of aging like a fine wine. So thanks for thanks for keeping it going, bro. And for, staying true to the music that you brought to everyone and made everyone so happy back in the late 70s and early 80s. We appreciate you, man.
Dude, I appreciate you guys like you doing this for guys like me.
Yeah, thanks so much. We got to let you go, but I'd like to have you back on again down the road. And when we come out to LA in July to do our album, we'd love to have you come in and contribute something with Rick and the guys.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, now we're interlinked, so we'll be able to communicate further in the future.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, and everybody.
If you're tuning in right now, you're listening to an interview wrapping up with Casey Royer from D.I. and the Adolescents and Social Distortion and now the Radolescents.
Yeah, and be sure and let us know too about any tour dates, and if you're looking to play the wonderful, beautiful scene that is Southern Oregon, let us know, and we'll see what we can do to help you out there.
I absolutely will.
Awesome, rock and roll, my brother. Thanks, Casey.
Thanks, Casey.
All right, guys. Stay out of trouble. Guys, talking with you.
Yeah, take care, bro.